The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight we're here for OP Racing Super Speedway Series as they present the Talladega 250. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. My name is K.R. Stolvis, and in the booth with me is a good buddy of mine, none other than Dave World. Dave, thanks for joining us here tonight.
Yes, sir. My pleasure to be here once again, calling some great super speedway racing action that these OP Racing Super Speedway Series drivers put on week in and week out. And, you know, I don't know if there'd be a better person to spend the time up in the booth here with.
Oh, I can think of a lot of better people than me to spin the booth, but they also are female. Nothing? No? All right, moving on. All right, So, practice. 1 minute left in this warm-up session, and then we will turn them loose for a 10-minute qualifying, 2 laps around this ginormous Talladega Super Speedway. And you can see these drivers are already practicing their tandem, their group, their pack, whatever you want to call it. They are all working together, trying to figure out the best way to get around this big mamma jamma known as Talladega. And Dave, everything's looking pretty calm right now. I'm watching these 6 cars work the draft, try the high side, try the low side, and I've seen them 3 and 4 and 5 wide in this practice session.
Yeah, drivers not being scared to mix it up here in practice. I've seen that myself a few times, as I believe we are watching the same pack of 6 cars out there mixing it up with Hunter Reynolds on the bottom right there next to that yellow line. But and one goes around finally. They've been trying to wreck for about 15 laps.
They have been trying and not even doing that very well, but session is drawing to a close. Time to go and set your qualifying time, and again, 10 minutes to do 2 laps. And it does take a few minutes to get around this speedway on your opening lap. Opening 2 laps, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to go all the way around to the backstretch on the apron. So you're not even able to get it wound up real quick. You got to make it a long, long way using 3rd gear, and then finally up into 4th down the backstretch. So it takes a long time to finally get these cars up to speed and warmed up in the way they want to run.
David Overstreet in the 02 machine rolling out on track. He is going to be joined by a few others that have made their way out. The 28 of Derek Conley and the 53 of Dave Hunt. So 3 drivers quickly out on the track here. Everyone else seems to be waiting for a minute before they head out. But again, a lot of time in this session. 10 minutes. You might think it's a lot of time though, but when you consider how long it takes you to get up to speed, get your out lap, get your first time lap, and then get to your second time lap, there is quite a bit of time that has dropped off the qualifying session.
Absolutely, KR. I mean, just getting up to speed and then getting your 2 qualifying laps in, you're looking at close to 3.5, maybe even 4 seconds if you have some issues getting off of pit road. Lord knows I do sometimes. So, so very, very hard for these drivers to get these things wound up the way that they need to. That's why you always see them all the way up next to that wall on these up to speed, and the first lap really is just to try to gain as much momentum and energy, RPM, in the car to get the most speed out of it.
So a few other drivers making their way out on the track now. The 21 of Daniel Holloway beginning to roll his Hershey Kisses machine. Sean McCarrick in the 50 machine out on track. He's hugging that high lane, trying to get up to speed all the way. David Overstreet and Derek Conley sitting 1 and 2. Now Dave Hunt jumps up into 2nd place in the speed chart. As the times start to roll in, we'll see more drivers qualifying. The 28 of Derek Conley has dropped down to that inside line here to set his fast lap. Alex Green rolling into 4th place on his opening lap. Conley in the 28. Very fast in qualifying trim. Sat on pole a lot of times here in the OP Racing Super Speedway Series.
Yeah, KR. Now I'm watching the 18 right now on his first time lap. It's going to be the slower of the 2 up there hugging that wall once again. That Interstate battery's 18. Looks looks pretty sweet.
So the 18 of Mark Vega in a brightly colored 18 machine, going to try and lay down a qualifying time to put him on pole just at 6 minutes left in this session. And now more and more drivers rolling out. The 52 of Randall Cobb, sporting a black and orange Hooters machine. I like Hooters for the wings. Well, I say that, but I've actually never had their wings.
I was gonna say I don't even like their beer, so I think that's
never been to
negative
Hooters.
partner.
Just realized I've never been.
Well, it's a fun time. We'll just leave it at that.
The 63 of Logan Helton out on track. Mark Mann checking in on YouTube. How you doing, Mark? Yes, we're all thinking of Newman, but we don't want to dwell on that here tonight until more is known. So we're not going to talk a whole lot about it, but good to see you checking in, Mark. Our Sapphire. Wonderful to see you cheering on the 84 machine. So Logan Helton coming around to lay down his qualifying time. He is still hugging that wall, so he is still getting up to speed. Dave, you got your eye on anyone else?
No, I was actually keyed in on that rookie, the kid, Logan Helton. Had my eye on him. He was sitting there on the end of pit road for a moment, so kind of keyed in and been watching him as he's dropped to the line this time. And I don't know. I think he dropped to the line a little late there, KR. I'm not sure he's going to have anything for the pole here.
Rookie mistake. Gosh, that kid. I tell you.
A lot of distance right there down the backstretch. You've seen it, at least a car off. That's got to close that up a little bit. Maybe you can possibly come and steal pole away from some of these veterans.
Cody Ober in the 8, sitting on pole position with a 52.658. Logan Helton gonna cross the line. The 63 machine is going to jump up to the top of the chart. So that just goes to show you, Dave, what do we know?
Wow. This rookie has proven us wrong, or surprised us multiple times now this season. I wouldn't expect being that far off the line and dropping down when he did that he'd have the speed, but hey, that's why we bring new talent in, huh?
It is the 62 of Les Levy rolling around that apron. Les right now in 4th place, but I believe he was trying to better his time here and is not going to with a 52.768. Hunter Reynolds in the 26 machine with 2 minutes 42 seconds left in qualifying. Reynolds right now finding himself in 16th spot. The 4 machine making his way out on the track. Rick Searands gunning for pole position as he begins his qualifying session. The 78 of Donald Stewart, one of the fastest drivers in our practice session, now finding himself without any drafting help as qualifying his solo car effort here tonight. And the 40 machine of Anthony English rolling out. So Anthony along the wall there.
He's going to be hard pressed though, KR, to get 2 laps in.
I think he is on his first lap. I think we're going to see him drop down here. Could be wrong. I usually am. But all that being said, guys, We're going to step away for our national anthem. No one go anywhere. We'll be back with tonight's starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As drivers are starting to take to the grid, that means it is time to inform you how that grid looks. The 40 machine of Anthony English at the very last possible moment crossing the start-finish line with the pole position of a 52.640, beating out Rick Seabrands in the 4 machine by 0.008 seconds. That is going to make up your front row. Row number 2, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds and the 63 of Logan Helton. Row 3, the 78 of Don Stewart and the 8 of Cody Ober. Row 4 going to be the 18 of Mark Vega and the 62 of Les Levy. Row number 5 going to be the 77 of David Booth and the 50 of Sean McCarrick.
Starting inside row number 6, the 3 of Robert Payne, followed by the 95 of James Mayer. Row number 7, the 02 of David Overstreet and the 53 of Dave Hunt. Row number 8 tonight, the 28 of Derek Conley and the 84 of Aspen Belvin. Row number 9, the 21, the rookie Daniel Holloway, followed by the 24 of Will Weber. Row number 10, 52 of Randall Cobb, and the 00 of Rob Connors.
Row 11 will be the 15 of Alex Green and the 51 of Travis Elliott. Row 12 will be the 10 of Robert Duvendak and Cody Eldred being scored there, but he is our race control tonight. As always, Cody, we do greatly appreciate the time and effort that you do sitting here watching this race, keeping these drivers in check, under control. It is a thankless job. Row 13, the 91 of Ernie Williams and the 11 of Chase Berry, and bringing up tail end here tonight, the 82 of Daniel Harrington. And if you guys want, you can check out Daniel Harrington's stream on Twitch at DemonTech82. He'd love for you to stop by and say hello. But that is our starting lineup here tonight. 26 cars on track to take the green flag. All of them being led by the 40 of Anthony English.
And once again, there, right at the end of qualifying, we were proved wrong once again, KR, because two veterans of the series, actually three of them, went up and knocked Logan Helton off of that pole. So these veterans waiting, going out at the right time and getting the job done.
Some craftiness from the veterans, letting itself show through, but raw talent in that 63 machine. This front two rows, dynamite, action-packed. Here we go. The row number 3, can't forget them, Cody Ober and Don Stewart. Guys, this is gonna be a heck of a race. Here we go. 94 laps at Talladega. 3 stages. Stage number 1 coming to an end on lap 20 as we wait the long wait here for the green flag. There it is, green flag is out, and we are underway here tonight as they all get a good clean start. The 40 machine and the 4 stay door to door. Hunter Reynolds in that 26 pushing the 40 machine as the 63 is now trying to get hooked to the back bumper of the 4.
Entire field still side by side as they work their way down the back stretch. Nobody giving up any positions as of yet. A little bit of moving from lane to lane out of a few cars, KR, but nothing really going on just yet. Speed hasn't been settled. Drivers still side by side from 3 and 4.
Off of turn number 4, they come around to complete lap number 1. They are on the front stretch. The 40 and the 4 still side by side. If it wasn't for almost 200 miles an hour, you would think they are pacing. And Rick Seabrands in the 4 is going to lead the first lap and then dive down in front of the 40 of Anthony English.
Just another great move by, guess who? Alliance Motorsports. 1, 2, 3 on that inside lane, KR. Once again, that team working very well with each other.
Will Weber in the 24 dropping down to the inside here. He is dropping to the back of the field. Maybe going to bide his time at the back of the pack and wait for the right move or the right opportunity to present itself. Another driver who has dropped back quickly, that is the 28 of Derek Conley. He has found himself now all the way down in 24th with Ernie Williams and Chase Berry only right behind him.
And a side note, while these drivers are still side by side and the wheels are still pretty, look at Donald Stewart's rims, man. Them chromed out purple rims. That's what's up, buddy. Look at that.
Sharp looking 78 machine there, got the racing stripes down the middle of it. Kind of has an old school feel to it. I like that paint scheme a lot here tonight. Very clean, very sharp looking. Not only is that paint scheme looking sharp, that 78 machine sitting third car on that inside line. He is in a good position right now as the 26 of Hunter Reynolds right in front of him. We go on board with the 26 machine looking out the back at the 78. You think he's still running a 427 in there?
Sure. If he could get away with it, maybe. I don't know.
Cup engines are still 350 cubic inches, correct?
See, once again, I was going to say, they told me to get in and drive the car, and I could drive the car. So, you know.
Right pedal go fast, left pedal go slow.
Yeah, keep it off that white thing outside you.
Okay. Working lap number 5, Rick Seabrands in the 4 machine has led all 4 completed laps here tonight. Talladega already starting to see 3 wide action. The 50 machine is Sean McCarrick leading the charge in that third lane. And just like that, The 60, I believe that's the 62 of Les Levy, jumped out in front of him. Les running a new paint scheme here tonight, so made me second guess myself, but Les now carrying that momentum on the high side. 3 wide at Talladega, plenty of room for it. 4 wide, plenty of room for it. 5 wide, and now we're starting to feel the pinch.
I'm good with the 3 wide. You start pulling the 4 wide, I'm getting a little nervous myself, because any little movement, yeah, it's gonna spell bad news for you. But surprised to see these drivers already 3 wide here, KR, only working down the backstretch on lap number 6. The drivers already trying to test the waters. Looks like that run's gonna kind of fizzle on out. These drivers will duck back down in line and maybe try it again here in another lap or so.
Right on board with the 78. He's got an excellent view. The 63 Logan Helton just to his outside. The 26 Hunter Reynolds right in front of him. They work their way through the tri-oval and across the start-finish line. And again, the 4 Rick Seabrands just out in front of the 40 of Anthony English.
Interesting to see too. I mean, we've got a few drivers beginning to drop back, get single file behind this huge, massive lead pack that we have. Interesting to see them just kind of lay back already the way they are with the numbers that they have. There's only about 5 or 6 of them back there, KR. So they're going to have to be careful not to lose that toe, not to lose the sniff of the draft.
Speaking of those at the back, the 11 of Chase Berry, he is trying desperately to hold on to that draft, but for the moment he is hanging kind of in that danger zone. He's still able to maintain speed, and it looks like he is able to close in down the backstretch on the 91 of Ernie Williams. But that's kind of a risky move to be that far back, because all it takes is one little bobble and you lose the draft.
Yeah, and a bobble is what the 50 of Sean McCarrick just had a moment ago. Big bobble, and he moves to the outside lane. He's going to give up a few positions. Travis Elliott, his 51 monster energy machine, goes on by McCarrick. He's going to slot back in line, still side by side all the way through. I don't even know, what is that, 20th?
McCarrick is down in the 18th spot right now. David Overstreet in the 0-2, down and behind him a little bit. David Overstreet in that 0-2. We have seen him drop down below the yellow line a couple times down the backstretch. And I'm not sure if these drivers are going down there because they're getting bumps that they don't like, or if they're trying to drop to the back. But it has been very busy below the yellow line on the backstretch here so far in these first 10 laps or so.
I'm just watching kind of towards the rear of this little pack here. Aspen Belvin down on the inside. We've got Travis Elliott looking 3 wide. Not quite sure who that is just up in front of him. I believe that's the 21. No, that's the 52 of Randall Cobb just in front of them. So looks like we're going to get some more 3 wide action here. Going to see if anybody decides to duck out from that middle lane. Try to help that outside lane develop a little bit more.
The 21 machine of Daniel Holloway moving up in his second race here on Monday night. Had a good showing in his debut race last week. Here he is again, now leading the charge in the outside lane. He has the 52 of Randall Cobb working with him, and the 50 of Sean McCarrick trying to get to that bumper to make it 3 cars in that third lane.
Yeah, they're going to need a little bit more help. I mean, the 50's trying to get there, but having to duck back down with that middle lane. So the run starts, and then it just kind of fizzles out, and then it goes away for a few laps, and then it starts again, and just not seeming to materialize just yet here tonight.
Ooh, the 18, big wiggle by Mark Vega as he got down and touched the apron. The 84 of Aspen Belvin able to lay off of him a little bit and allow him to catch that machine, but that was a big moment for the 18 and the 84 through turns 3 and 4. So already working lap 12 of 94, 20 laps. At the completion of lap 20, stage 1 will end. Should the caution come out that would overlap that stage in, race control will inform us who the winner is. And if it's too close for us to call, well, race control will still tell us.
It's a good thing they will, because sometimes they're too close for our eyes to tell their KR. I know I do it sometimes just on normal laps. Then I look at timing and scoring. Nope, went to the other guy. So eyes aren't always the sharpest, but you can't beat electronics.
Yeah, electronics definitely worthwhile investment in racing. Timing and scoring is made better because of it, that is for sure.
Indeed, it definitely is.
The 4 of Rick Seabrands now on the outside lane as the 40 of Anthony English is down on the inside. Those two have swapped lanes here now twice, but the 26, the 63, they have been the two solid second row contenders. Row number 3 really hasn't changed that much either. That is the 78 of Donald Stewart and the 8 of Cody Ober. So even though the front two drivers have swapped lanes, everyone in the last few rows behind them all just sitting pretty, kind of riding around. The 02 of David Overstreet, he's got a heck of a run on the outside right now, but he has no one going with him. We'll see if he can make this work solo, but the 02 now looking for some help from the 21.
And something I'm already thinking about, KR, you said stage in was on lap 20, completion of lap 20. These drivers can make it on fuel, I believe, especially some of them that are in the mid-pack here. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see if anybody pushes it that far, or if they play it safe just like that. Aspen Belvin and a few other drivers hit pit road this time by.
On to pit road for green flag pit stops. 3 drivers, the 84, the 51, and the 11. We go on board with the 84 of Aspen Belvin as he pulls into his pit stall to be serviced by his crew. But meanwhile, the race continues as just a splash of fuel for the 84. And already they are rolling again.
That's a little interesting there, just to get a splash. So that may mean that these drivers can't make it unless they have been saving tremendously, as we've got one more driver looking like he's going to hit pit road. I believe that is the 18. Looked like he was ducking off, may have thought better of it if he was by himself. We continue under green flag conditions. Lap number 15 out of 94 here tonight.
So Mark Vega now making his pit stop. But the lead pack, the main pack, continues to go on. The 02, I believe that is the 02 of David Overstreet, still trying to work that high line by himself. And if he's hoping to hit pit road, he's going to have to find a way to do it. If it's this lap, he's got quite a few cars to work through. As 3 more cars down onto pit road.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. We keep seeing just little chunks of cars peeling off, no real big groups. So I'm not sure that the spotters are communicating with each other on when to come, when to stay. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'd try to stick this thing on out, though.
Chase Berry in the 11, even though he had a splash of fuel, overshot his pit box. spent a lot of time trying to get situated into his pit stall. He is going to go one lap down here as he had no drafting help and an extended stay on pit road. Good news for him though, if he continues to be the only car one lap down, we're just a handful of laps away from the end of the stage.
Yeah, going one lap down, even 2 laps down, this early in the race, KR, isn't gonna quite shoot you in the foot. Sebring's way up the hill. May have to save some fuel here. That may be why he jumped out of line. We'll have to see what unfolds with Sebring's, where he stacks back into the field. But as I was saying, I mean, early in the race, possible cautions. You do have 2 stage-ending cautions, so you can possibly get your laps back there. But any more than 2, or if you get into stage 2 and then start going multiple laps down, that's when you really got to be concerned.
So the 4 Rick Sebrands, he's peeling off for pit road. He is all by himself. No one going with him this time around. But the 40 of Anthony English continuing to stay out and lead laps. He has led for 9 laps now. So Rick Sebrands in the 4, bringing it down to his pit stall, and a little splash of fuel for him. It could be a struggle for the 4 to stay on the lead lap if he has a hard time getting off the pit road cleanly.
And the more and more I think about it, KR, the more I believe drivers like David Booth, Les Levy, they've been in the pack. They've been tucked up behind other cars. They should be able to make it to the end of lap 20 without any problems. We've got a lot of drivers that think they can.
Final lap here in stage number 1. Anthony English in the 40, trying to stretch his fuel tank. Donald Stewart in the 78. He is leading the charge in that second lane. Chase Berry in the 11, moving up to the high side here. The 02 of David Overstreet going to go with him. But Anthony English, for the moment, has the lead. The 78 of Donald Stewart trying to get a run up off the corner. Maybe carry that speed down to the tri-oval. We're going to see how this plays out, if they have enough fuel to even make it on the cool down lap. But the 40, big wiggle by the 40, and it looks like maybe the 78 of Donald Stewart going to cross the line and win stage number 1.
Absolutely crazy right there. I think English ran out of gas.
And the 40 of Anthony English, very slow, and quite possibly has ran out of fuel. But Donald Stewart and the 78 gonna pick up the stage win. As the 40 of English down on the apron, slowing down like bad, like he's not gonna make it around. He is gonna need some help. Not a good way to start off your race, having to get pushed back around to your pit stall. Everyone slowly waiting for pits to open, and race control is confirmed that the 78 of Donald Stewart is our stage 1 winner. So with Stewart not catching up right away to the pace car, a few drivers electing to go down onto pit road, even though I believe the pits would probably be closed. Duvendak in the 10, he has stayed out. The 78 has stayed out. Of the drivers who did pit, Daniel Holloway now leads everyone out from those who made pit stops. So Holloway, if he elects to stay out under this caution, very possibly will be scored as the race leader.
Yeah, and I mean, with these caution laps, Daniel Holloway, Cody Ober, Rick Seaburns, Aspen Belvin, all of those drivers should be able to make it the distance to the end of stage number 2. I don't think anybody's going to have to worry about fuel mileage to the end of stage number 2, but interesting little call for these drivers just to stay out an extra lap or two here. Up at the front, Donald Stewart, Dave Hunt, Robert Duvendak, not quite sure why, but why not, I guess.
So the 78 worked his way around and on to pit road. 53 of Dave Hunt gonna follow suit. The 82 of Dan Harrington, who made his pit stop a few laps ago, now being shown as the race leader. Cody Ober sitting in second place, along with the 21 of Daniel Holloway. So we'll see. They all maybe are a bit mixed up because of the caution and just trying to get formed up. Do want to point out that Anthony English has made it into his pit stall. I have a feeling he did not have enough gumption to get there and had to take the flatbed back to his pit lane. So we'll see if he gets rolling again, but he has already scored 1 lap down. Chase Berry in the 11 did get back on the lead lap. But let's see if we can't get a word in with our stage 1 winner. And that is none other than Donald Stewart. Mr. Stewart, you got your ears on, bud?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Doing just fine. Dave here wanted to talk to you.
Hey, Dave, what's up?
It's nothing much. What's up with you, bud?
I was just trying to win that stage, and I ran out of fuel right when I got into my pit, but I had to enter a closed pit or I wouldn't have been able to make it, so.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what was going through your mind coming off of turn 4 there? Anthony English started stumbling. He ran out of gas. Did you think you were going to make it and have enough to get to your box? Said you barely did, but what was the thought process, or what was going through your head coming out of 4 that last lap?
Actually, I thought it was the beginning of 20, and it was the end of 20, so that kind of got me in a bind here. I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be on the track here. Alright, I can talk.
All right, didn't want to get over race control, anything like that, you know what I mean? Let you get it all sorted out. But, man, congratulations on the stage win here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Before we let you go and get talking to your crew chief, want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that to anybody out there watching?
Yeah, I'd give a shout out to all the fans out there that watching. Appreciate them taking the time to watch this, and you guys broadcasting, y'all do a really good job up there. OP for putting this on. Takes a lot to put one of these leagues on, and my teammates with Checkered Flag Motorsports. Hopefully we can bring the checkered flag home tonight.
All right, man. Well, good luck and elbows up.
Simple, thanks.
That was Donald Stewart from Checkered Flag Motorsports, your stage 1 winner, stopping and giving us a little bit of insight into what it took to win the stage. Our aerial coverage tonight is provided by Checkered Flag Motorsports. Right now, the 15 machine of Alex Green being scored as the race leader. The 11 of Chase Berry trying to take the wave around here. So he is back on the lead lap, but he is trapped between the pace car and our race leader. And so race control also informing me that timing and scoring is a bit messed up. So we're going to have a bit of a moment here while they try and sort the field out. So while we do that, guys, We're going to step away for a minute. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the field's starting to form up behind the pace car. We're going to have a long train of cars on that inside lane. Here is several drivers had to pit in a closed pit, so they will be serving a penalty. That is going to leave 3 cars in that outside lane. Daniel Holloway in the 21, your race leader. The 8 of Cody Ober on his outside. Row number 2 for this restart, the 82 of Daniel Harrington and the 3 of Robert Payne. Row 3 will be the 51 machine of Travis Elliott and the 84 of Aspen Belvin. As we get ready to go green flag racing here once again. Tonight's race being brought to you by Checkered Flag Motorsports. The 21 of Holloway and the 8 of Cody Ober from DEI Wannabe's stable, having a lock on the front row. Pace car out of the way. We get ready to go green flag racing for stage number 2. Green flag is out and away we go. The 21 and the 8 sitting door to door for the moment as they head off into turn number 1. The 8 of Cody Ober with the 3 of Robert Payne for the moment has a bit of an advantage, but the 82 machine now working his way up onto the 21. That is all of the DEI wannabes in first through fourth. The only one missing is the 15 of Alex Green. He finds himself mired deep in the field all the way down in 18th place.
And a big push on the back stretch on the rear of that 8 machine, and it almost went sideways. A lot of momentum given up that inside lane. Well, whoa, big moment there. Travis Elliott jumps to the outside. Almost had me speechless there, KR. That outside lane starting to build back up and get back to the front. A few of those drivers that were single file were able to make some moves and join this lead pack as they work their way back down the back stretch once again.
Holloway in the 21 out front for the moment. The 51 of Travis Elliott trying to sneak his way into the lead. We have had several lap leaders here so far in this opening stage. 7 drivers in total have been scored as leading a lap, and a lot of that came under caution with the confusion of who was going to be where, but still counts for a lap led, I guess.
Yeah.
The 10 machine of Robert Duvendak, third car in the inside line. Duvendak finding himself starting at 23rd here tonight and making his way all the way up into 5th. So some solid moves by the 10 machine, and now he is looking at a whole lot less cars than when he started this thing. Big wiggle from the 10 there though, able to catch it as he worked his way off at turn number 4.
And Hunter Reynolds looking like he's hungry to go 3 wide as we work our way through stage number 2. And the drivers just behind this lead pack, they're not in danger, so to speak, but they're starting to mix it up amongst themselves as well. So being safe may not be secure right at the moment.
Les Levy in the 62 machine, finding himself 4th car on the inside line, just in front of Logan Helton in the 63. The 52 machine on his outside, that is Randall Cobb. Aspen Belvin in the 84 right there as well. Hunter Reynolds in the 26, trying to make it 3 wide here. Right now he has no help. He's holding his own, but he is in trouble. 78, big wiggle there. Don Stewart, our stage 1 winner, able to catch it. That is the 77 of David Booth right behind the 78.
And you know, KR, as things are heating up in this lead pack, that second pack has actually closed within a second and a half. They were a little over 2 seconds. Aspen Belvin almost into the wall right behind Hunter Reynolds, but that second pack closing in very quickly. And you've got, 6, maybe 7 laps until stage end?
Got, yeah, something like that. But Alex Green in the 15 now really with a full head of steam making his way up into this pack. And he is going to try and thread the needle between Donald Stewart and David Booth as we ride on board with the 15. Alex Green trying to get up to his buddies of DEI wannabes. Now he's tucked in behind the 3 of Robert Payne, the 40 of Anthony English, right behind the 15. Do want to point out that Anthony is 2 laps down. So the gamble to try and win the stage and run his tank as far as he could has not paid off at all for the 40 machine, as he finds himself 2 laps down in a bit of a situation. Big hole to dig out of.
And Hunter Reynolds went to the outside, went to the front, dropped down to the middle lane, and left Aspen Belvin behind that outside lane. The 3rd lane has dropped way back now as Hunter Reynolds, good God almighty, take it, KR.
Hunter Reynolds now leading the charge in that 2nd lane, trying to wrestle the lead away from the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Holloway has been out front for 6 laps now, and the 26 with a big shove by the 51 of Travis Elliott, gonna take over the race lead and drop down to the inside.
Oh, a block almost gone bad there as Hunter Reynolds tried to move up in front of the 21. Not clear just yet. The 21 surging in that middle lane. Looks like he's going to drop down now to lead that bottom lane just in front of Hunter Reynolds. That's going to leave Travis Elliott leading that outside lane.
The Holloway back to the front. Hunter Reynolds tucked in right behind him in that 26. Now Reynolds going to make the same move off of the corner. Slides up in front of the 51, and Hunter Reynolds with the momentum. He's going to come around and lead this lap.
Yeah, that's a move we'll see time and time again here tonight. Travis Elliott now dropping to the bottom with Hunter Reynolds. And as soon as Elliott thinks he can make that jump, oh, just like that, Holloway jumps back to the outside. That middle lane's going to start to surge back to the front again. We're going to see that little duck out, that switch, as I've known to call it. We're going to see that switch quite often.
Field working its way through 3 and 4. And on to this front stretch here at Talladega. Holloway again making a move on the outside of the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Cody Ober in the 8, locked to the back bumper. And Reynolds that time at the line, being scored, I believe, with the race lead at that. But that was very close. The 21 almost was able to lead that lap. But big time wiggling from these drivers as they make their way down the backstretch. Everyone's starting to squirm, trying to find any opening that they can as Holloway in the 21 drives down to the inside. And now the 8 of Cody Ober looking to have the momentum to keep the 26 from coming up. But Hunter Reynolds not able to repeat the same move again that has been going on for so many laps, as we are coming to the end of stage number 2.
Coming to the end of yet another stage, and look at that second car middle lane. Logan the Kid Helton just finds a way. I mean, he sniffs the front, dude. Wait, that may have... You understood what I meant, and that's all that matters. But the kid always finds a way to be up there battling for the stage wins, race wins. I mean, he is doing one heck of a job.
Holloway, your race leader, the 63 of Logan Helton. Second car in that outside lane. Now the 26 of Hunter Reynolds making a move to the outside. Hunter Reynolds again with that opening to the outer lane, moves up in front of the 8 of Cody Ober and has the momentum to take over the top spot.
These moves are getting closer and closer to not being clear. There's going to be some fender rubbing here in a few laps, I can guarantee it, as we are on lap 38 out of 94. Stage end will be at lap 40, completion of lap 40, KR. So I'm going to put you on the spot. who you like to get this stage win?
That 21 machine of Daniel Holloway being very impressive out here, leading the charge in that inside lane. The 26 Hunter Reynolds, though, a crafty veteran here with the OP Racing Super Speedway Series. It is a tough call between these two, but let's not forget that outside line being led by the 84 of Aspen Belvin. It has been known to come out of left field and steal away a stage win, and they look like they are starting to build some momentum as we have got 2 laps left in this stage.
A lot of movement down the backstretch from a lot of cars. One car down way on the apron. They're going to slot back in line. Inside lane breaking up just a little bit. Hunter Reynolds looking to make a block to the middle. Not going to be clear to do it. Cody Over's still going to lead that middle lane. Aspen Belvin now charging with a great push from the 52 machine just behind him. Back around to the stripe. Hunter Reynolds looks like he's going to keep the lead. We'll see after yeah, never mind.
So the 26 of Hunter Reynolds with the lead as we are in the final lap of stage number 2. Logan Helton in the 63 making a move to the outside lane. He's looking for some help. He's going to need to build a lot of momentum if he is going to wrestle this lead away from the 21 and the 26. Contact with the wall, the 84 of Aspen Belvin making a brush with the wall as the 63 of Logan Helton has disappeared off the map. Maybe some internet connection issues. The 26 of Hunter Reynolds, he's making his move to the outside. Logan Holloway a bit late on the block. Here they come to the start finish line for stage number 2, and at the line it is going to be the 21 of Holloway.
Whew, another wild, crazy finish. No wrecks in this one, but still a crazy finish. Drivers mixing it up all the way to the line.
So Daniel Holloway picking up stage number 2 in the 21 machine after an epic battle between himself and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. And unfortunately, it looks like the 63 of Logan Helton has lost internet connection and has dropped connection bad enough that he is no longer being scored out on the track.
And that is a tough pill to swallow when it's completely out of your hands. Tough break.
So Holloway in the 21, catching up to the pace car, picking up his stage win here tonight. And just like that, the first 2 stages are done and over with. As we get ready for stage number 3, drivers are going to make their way down onto pit road. I expect to see everyone hit pit lane this time. So Dave, 2 stages completed, some outstanding door-to-door racing, a titanic battle in stage number 2 for the stage win, and we still got our final stage to go.
Yeah, all the drivers gonna come to pit road this time by, fill up, get ready to make the long run to the end game. And I'm not quite sure what to expect in this final stage. Will we see things kind of calm for a little while, or will we get riled up and ready to go early and see some more of that 3-wide action we had in stage 1?
As the drivers make their pit stops and pull away, looks like the 21 of Holloway just barely going to beat off the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. That one was close. Maybe Hunter Reynolds getting the win off of pit road. Let's see if we can't take a moment here and get a word in with our stage 2 winner. That is the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Daniel, you got your ears on, bud?
Sure do.
Well, that was an epic battle between you and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds there for the stage win. Tell us what it was like out there mixing it up at almost 200 miles an hour.
Intense, fun, fighting knuckles, but that was fun. That was a good battle going back and forth between me and him. Cody, teammate, that big push right there towards that last lap for the stage there, and opportunity to drop down in front of 26, and then he made a move. So, you know, good seesaw battles there.
Well, an outstanding job to win stage number 2. And as you guys were battling back and forth, the rest of the field was just kind of sitting there watching. What, how do you know when you have enough space to do something like that, and then the confidence to do it lap after lap?
Well, I've been doing a super speedway for a while, so it's all about timing and making sure that you're clear above. We're not cutting somebody's nose, but it's all about the timing and everything, my point of view, and coming out of the turns and have a good run coming off, and you know, it's plus luck too. So, but with Cody behind me pushing me like that and stuff, you know, it helps. And you know, you got somebody behind you, you know, that can push you pretty good and keep a good line too. So I'm still learning some of these other guys too in this league and everything. I just want to say thanks for having me in here too. So,
all right, that is your stage 2 winner, Daniel Holloway. Man, congratulations on the stage victory.
Thanks, guys.
Out of the DEI Wannabes stable, Holloway picking up the stage win and stopping for a moment to talk to us. We appreciate that. So Dave, 2 stages in the books. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. That's about the only thing I can be sure of, because the minute I try to formulate any strategy or guess who's gonna win it, it never ends up happening, and my strategy gets thrown right out the window. So, I mean, I'm just here to watch.
Just along for the ride.
I heard a famous quote one time, and it was, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Very famous quote. Only I could remember who said it. All right, so the field forming up behind the pace car. We're going to take a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers now formed up 2 by 2 behind the pace car. Logan Helton in the 63 has rejoined the race. He is 2 laps down, along with the 00 of Rob Connors and the 40 of Anthony English. 26 drivers still out on track. We started 26 here tonight, so we have not been slowed down for an incident so far. 2 cautions coming out for stage ending cautions. 17 lead changes. It has been an exciting race so far here tonight. And the fact that only 3 drivers are 2 laps down, everyone else on the lead lap, Dave, just goes to show, despite this fast pace of a race, all of these drivers have been hanging in there.
And we continue to see that out of the OP Racing Super Speedway drivers. They've been known to get some fenders bent up, get some cheap metal all tore to pieces, and beat and bang on it for a while, go out there and still just grind it out and get the best possible finishes they can. Every driver trying as hard as they can to make it to the big dance at the end of the season.
Pace car peeling off. Hunter Reynolds, Daniel Holloway gonna resume their battle once again. The 26 on the inside, the 21 on the outside. Row number 2 gonna be the 3 of Robert Payne and the 15 of Alex Green. As we wait for the green flag, and a green flag is out, and drivers get on the throttle. A little bit of wiggling going on behind them as some tires got lit up a little bit, and everyone gathers it back in, and off into turn number 1 we go.
Drivers moving around just a little bit as Mark Vega drops down from the top lane to the bottom. That's gonna thin out that outside lane for just a bit. Now we have drivers moving back out as that outside lane builds the momentum halfway down the back stretch. The 21 in front of the 26 at the moment, but Hunter Reynolds surging back through 3 and 4. They head back towards the tri-oval and the start-finish line for the first time since this latest restart.
We go on board with the 53 of Dave Hunt as he tries to work that 3rd lane. Right now he is all by himself, doesn't have a whole lot of help. Now he's going to dive back down in front of the 52 machine of Randall Cobb. So that 3rd lane fizzling out for the 53, but Logan Helton in the 63 trying to lead the charge to get one of his 2 laps back. And it is a good move on his part to try and make that happen.
Ooh, and we are starting to see some of that 3 wide action. Big movement from a lot of cars right there, right at the front. We have seen many times in the past, KR, wrecks can happen right there at the front, especially with all this movement. But look at Mark Vega leading that 3rd outside lane with help from Logan Helton. Logan down a few laps. Doesn't matter. He's pushing them to the front.
Yeah, Logan Helton making a charge to the front. The 3 of Robert Payne down on the apron. He is slow and looking for an opening back up on the track. He is in danger of losing the draft here. And in fact, he has fallen pretty far back in a hurry. But the 63 of Logan Helton going to try and get one of his laps back the hard way.
And he is right there gonna do it, basically. The trouble with this is you gotta hope for a caution in KR. I think he's down quite a few laps, and I'm not sure he's gonna have enough to help. Looks like no, he's only being scored 1 lap down now as he's in front of the race leader, so can't knock the strategy.
No, absolutely cannot. If he manages to have his nose out when the caution comes out, he would get essentially 2 laps back. He would be the first car 1 lap down. But now that 63 falling back a little bit in that middle lane. He has got to find a way to get out in the front and then ride around and wait for that caution.
Yeah, waiting for a caution though is, I mean, it's tough, KR. You think there's always going to be one, and then wouldn't you know it, one won't come, and then when you least expect it, one will rear its ugly head. But still being the first car 1 lap or 2 laps down doesn't really hurt his chances.
Mark Vega in the 18 making his way to the race lead. Vega has led for 2 laps so far here tonight. Daniel Holloway in the 21 trying to take over that top spot once again. The 26 of Hunter Reynolds tucked in behind the 18 as Mark Vega now has an issue going on, and we have got a stack up, a yellow coming out. Big time trouble in 3 and 4. Ernie Williams involved in this one. Take a look at this from the blimp. Not sure where this all started, so we're trying to find the incident here. But Ernie Williams in the 91 was involved. Looks like the 53 of Dave Hunt getting involved as well. So taking another peek at it here, the 52 and the 53 just not getting squared on a contact. The 77 getting involved. Don Stewart, our stage 1 winner, getting a little piece of the action. Take one more look at this one, and you can see the 53 and the 52 just touch slightly, setting off a chain reaction here. And the 78 is Stewart hard on the brakes. Slight contact with that outside wall. So the 21 of Holloway gonna make his way onto pit road. Gonna bring the 26 of Hunter Reynolds and the 62 of Les Levy with him. The 18 of Mark Vega. Not sure what has happened to Vega, but he is not with the pace car here, but scored as the race leader. Les Levy in the 62 gonna win the race off of pit road. So Levy with a solid pit stop. Very quick on the pit stop there for the 62 machine. I believe that's a fuel only kind of pit stop.
And KR, I'm just a little bit confused with the timing and scoring. And Mark Vega, it looks like he's having to wait up tremendously for this pace car. So I'm not quite sure what's going on right here.
So the 62 and the 18 for the moment. I believe the 18 is still going to have to come down pit road. Well, I know he's going to have to pit at some point. No one can make it on fuel from here. But the 18 machine of Mark Vega scored as our race leader. Logan Helton did receive a free pass. He is now 1 lap down. Good fight by the 63, getting one of those laps back. Race isn't over. The fight has not left that 63 just yet. we get another caution, I have a feeling that 63 is going to find a way to beat the first car one lap down and get back in this thing.
I mean, it just goes to show you what grinding it out and going out no matter what the situation can do for you. Drivers getting their laps back. Rob Connors also getting one of his 2 laps back. Anthony English, I believe he's going to get one of his mini laps back. So it always pays to just go out there and grind.
Yeah, you can never give up on a race as long as you got all 4 tires and a steering wheel. You still got a shot at it.
Well, I mean, you can even just have the steering wheel in your hand if you want. I've seen Junior do it a few times.
Have steering wheel, will race. As the field works its way behind the pace car for our first incident of the night, 23 lead changes in total so far. Working our 7th lap of caution. Right now, the 62 of Les Levy is your race leader. The 00 of Rob Connors looking like he is trying to get the wave around here. He is trapped between the pace car and our race leader. That will put Connors 1 lap down, but he will be short on fuel compared to everyone else by about 10 laps. And that could be detrimental to him, as he would have to pit by himself.
Yeah, but if we get one of them cautions, it all goes right out the window.
All right, so as the field gets gathered back in, I expect to see the lights go out on the pace car this time around. Les Levy, Hunter Reynolds will make up row number 1 for this restart. Row 2 will be the 4 of Rick Sebrands. As a few drivers are hitting pit road to top off their tanks one last time. In fact, it's quite a few drivers, as the 00 of Rob Connors gets the wave around. He now finds himself 1 lap down. And Dave?
Okay, I think we're going to have a long line here once again, KR, on that inside lane. So it's going to be an interesting restart. I think we're only going to be double file for the first 2, maybe 3 rows.
Yeah, a lot of drivers who came down pit road, well, doing so, they entered a closed pit. Their penalty will be starting at the tail end, or at the end of the longest line, I believe is what it would be. But with so many of the drivers making that stop, that inside lane going to be stretched out quite a bit. That is going to leave 3 cars for that outside lane. One of those cars in that outside lane is the 53 of Dave Hunt, who Hunt was involved in that caution. Was able to get his car repaired and get back out there. Now finds himself inside, or on the outside of row number 2. All right, Dave, I'm going to let you call this green flag.
Will do, not a problem, my man. Got this thing under control. Les Levy has the field under control. Ford Buttstain finally gets itself on out of the way, but it is still a long, long way around before you hit the restart line here at Talladega Super Speedway. Hunter Reynolds lining up just to his outside Once again, like I said, long train of cars down there on the inside lane. We work our way to the restart box once again. Green flag back in the air here at Talladega Super Speedway. Leslie with a good start. Rick Seabrands right behind him, pushing down into turn 1. Hunter Reynolds in that outside lane, losing some ground. Still only 3 cars willing to stay up in that outside lane. David Booth making sure Hunter Reynolds can't drop down and take that spot away. Still side by side down the back stretch. Now a 4th car joins the outside lane. Les Levy still leading the long train of cars down on the inside as Hunter Reynolds tries to make his way back up through the, well, not through the field, but to the front of the field, coming off of turn 4.
Les Levy leading the charge down on the inside lane. Rick Seabrand, 2nd car on the inside. The 77 of David Booth, that 3rd car, and I gotta tell you, I give David Booth a hard time for running my number, not getting a win in it just yet. But that 77 machine looking very strong here tonight as he is that 3rd car, but he has got some tough competition in front of him.
And I think you may have poked the Tiger a little bit too much there, KR, because he has been running up in the front multiple races this season. So David Booth with a I don't want to call it a turnaround, but running up in the front.
On board with the 4 of Rick Seabrands looking out the back. The 40 machine of Anthony English finding himself still 2 laps down, but here near the front trying to put himself in position to get one of those laps back. You got to believe if he gets the chance, that 40 will take it and make all the moves necessary to get back on the lead lap.
See, what if you're that 21 stage winner? You're ducking in and out behind a line that has a driver that's down a lap. He's got nothing to lose except, he's got to move forward. That's the only direction he can go, so he may put you in some positions you're not quite ready for. But, what do you do if you're one of the drivers in front of Anthony English? If he pushes you, you got to go with it.
Oh, yeah. Everyone is working together for the same goal, just to get to that checkered flag. Some of them are going to have to do it in a different manner than the others. And, Anthony English has every right out there to be where he is at. A lot of drivers will gripe and complain, well, he's a lap down, he needs to get out of the way. He is in this race just like everyone else. If he can get back on the lead lap, he has just as good a shot as anyone else to win this thing. So that 40 machine, if he's going to push you to the front, you let him push you to the front. If he has a run on the high side and you want to follow him, you follow him and you push him to the front. It is all the same, and it is all about getting to the checkered flag on lap 94.
Absolutely. We see teammates or non-teammates working together all the time. We see different manufacturers working together all the time. It's what works best for you at that moment, really, until you get down towards the last laps. And then I guess, KR, it's still what works best for you, because you're going to pull the block if you think you can. So I guess it's still what works best for me.
That it is. As the field being led by the 62 of Les Levy, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds still working that 2nd lane with the 53 of Dave Hunt right behind him. Rick Seabrand's in the 4, pushing the 62. That hasn't changed since the drop of the green flag on this restart. We're going to have 34 laps left here in this race, maybe 35 if I did my math correctly the second time. But Les Levy, checkered flag motorsports driver, out in front of the field. Hunter Reynolds in the 26, he is from FSR, and FSR down a driver here tonight. The 7 machine of Josh Milam checking in from San Francisco for training due to work. And Josh, want to say hello. Thank you very much for stopping by, saying hi. And man, we wish you were out there. Again, congratulations on your win last week.
Well, KR, he is out there in California.
He is way out there.
Complete opposite end of the country for me.
Talladega is in Alabama. San Francisco is in California. Those are almost on 2 opposite ends of the map. Kind of hard pressed to find too many more places further out.
Yeah, you know, maybe we could put some snow tires on these things and go to Juneau, Alaska. What do you think? Some ice racing.
Do you know, that'd be a good idea.
I'd like to put some dirt midgets, but I guess they'd be called ice midgets. That would be interesting.
While we're saying all of this, the 02 of David Overstreet making some moves, use that 3rd lane. Now he drops down in front of the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, and he is leading the charge in that 2nd lane. And don't look now, but the 63 of Logan Helton trying to get back on the lead lap. He is the 2nd car in that outside lane, pushing the 10 of Robert Duvendak. Man, oh man, Logan Helton trying desperately to get back on the lead lap. He is a man on a mission, using that 3rd lane, using anybody he can, going where the cars aren't to make these passes. He is setting himself up good for being the first car 1 lap down.
And it's a very good scenario here for Helton. He can manage to get himself up there in front of the leader. He'll then be on the lead lap if a caution comes out, so he'll be able to pit and be right there with these guys instead of having to start all the way behind everybody else as the lucky dog.
Helton is battling with the 00 of Rob Connors to be the first car 1 lap down. Right now, Rob Connors at the back of this field. He is 1.3 seconds behind Logan Helton. And you can see as we look off the nose of this 00, Logan just ahead, working his way out of the tribal across the start-finish line. Fortunes change very quickly here in super speedway racing, and it is all about luck and timing and a little bit of skill to get to where you need to be here on this Talladega track. So Rob Connors, even though he is now at the back of the pack here, he himself is not out of this race either.
No, not at all. We could still have 2, 3, 4 cautions. Green, white, checkered. It's all still out there. It's all still out on the line. It all depends on how aggressive these drivers are going to get with the blocks and the maneuverability of their cars as we get further and further into the green flag run. Also, okay, are going to have green flag pit stops that we're going to have to deal with, and I would say about another 5 to 6 laps. So a lot of different scenarios still to be had in today's race. 3 wide for the race lead down the backstretch.
They head off into turns 3 and 4. Duvendak in the 10 machine, leading the charge in that middle lane. Logan Helton leading the charge on that 3rd lane. Duvendak.
I don't think, KR, that's what Helton wanted to see. Duvendak jumped right down in front of David Overstreet right there, and I'm not sure that's what Helton wanted, because he has started to fade back through the pack, if you will, now.
The 24 Will Weber closing in quickly now. The 63 of Logan Helton getting left high and dry by himself in that 3rd lane. as the 52 machine, or I'm sorry, that is the 50 of Sean McCarrick, dropped down behind the 24 Will Weber. So now Logan Helton looking for some help, looking for a spot to drop down into this second row of cars, but all of that going on, the 62 of Les Levy continuing to lead laps. So far here tonight, he has led the most laps at 14. Holloway sitting in second in that category with 12 laps led. Then Anthony English and Hunter Reynolds at 10 laps apiece. So a lot of different lap leaders for a good little chunk of this race.
You know, KR, I think some drivers are beginning to take notice of the way that Helton's been able to push people up to the front. Ernie Williams is just clear of that 63, jumped out right in front of him, and here comes Ernie up to the front of the field, now battling side by side with Hunter. Well, that's Robert Duvendak in the middle, not Hunter Reynolds. Hunter's all the way on the bottom of the racetrack, down there in 26. Yeah, see right there.
So now 3 cars in that third lane. Les Levy again leading another lap, but starting to feel the pressure from 3 lanes, all trying to win this thing as we have 27 laps to go. We're just a handful of laps away from green flag pit stops and what could be the final pit stops of the night. Hell no, I think they're gonna just be a few laps short.
Yeah, I believe they're gonna have to pit twice here, KR. I think they're gonna have to pit here in the next 3 to 4 laps, and then they're still going to be at least 1 to 2 laps short, so a caution would change all that, of course. But Ernie Williams right there, man, I'm telling you, Logan Helton, he's unbelievable.
Well, the 62 of Les Levy, though, having an outstanding race here tonight. Checkered Flag Motorsports leading this field. The 10 of Robert Duvendak from Alliance Motorsports trying to get back into victory lane. Alliance Motorsports started off on a hot streak, and they are looking to once again put their stamp on a race victory. And Dave, the 10 machine now starting to edge out in front of the 62.
It's slowly starting to get ahead just little by little. As soon as he clears, will he drop down? I'm not sure that would be to make at this point in time, but seen it time and time again. Not sure who that was that just drop zoned right down into that bottom lane there from the middle one. 4 cars back, KR. Who is that?
Will Weber in the 24.
Yeah, thank you, because I was going to stumble all over his name. Will, no offense, I always have issue saying the double W. So just, yeah.
So Les Levy trying to pick up his first win of the season and the first win for Checkered Flag Motorsports on the season. We have the 00 of Rob Connors, who is now going to go 2 laps down. Rob Connors has stopped and made a pit stop, but he finds himself all alone right now, 2 laps down. That is going to put the 63 of Logan Helton, the only car 1 lap down for the moment. So should a caution come out, Logan sitting free and clear, not having to worry about battling anybody to get back on the lead lap.
You know, does that change the strategy here that we've been seeing at 60? He has been trying to push his way up to the front and around, and seeing him slotted in just kind of comfortable right there, 4th in line in the middle lane. Does you think that's going to change the way he approaches the rest of this race? Maybe just ride it out, look for that caution.
No, Logan Helton's going to try and make as many moves as he can. getting that free pass is nice and all, but if you can get back on the lead lap and then you get that caution that you are looking for, as you mentioned earlier, that lets you pit at the same time as the leaders. And there is a big advantage to that.
I believe he's already on the same fuel run as the rest of the guys around him, so he's going to have to pit with them. I don't think he's going to be able to gain his lap back off of the green flag pit cycle, but we've seen stranger things. He may come out just in front of the race leader and pull in the field. You never quite know.
Sean McCarrick in the 50 machine, second car on the second lane, trying to get to the back bumper of the 10 of Duvendak. Drivers' fuel tanks really getting close to running dry here, as they have been out wide open racing for quite a few laps now. And we will start to see these guys peel off for pit road. Here comes the 62 of Les Levy. He is going to make his break for pit lane. The 4 of Rick Sebrands, though, he is going to stay out. And the 10 of Duvendak staying out as well. Field really kind of split into almost third here, into a third on the pit road. Checkered Flag Motorsports all pitting together here. The 18 of Mark Vega and the 8 of Cody Ober into their pit stalls. But now the 4 of Rick Sebrands, he is going to have to hit pit road here in this lap or the next. But we have seen that 4 machine and the 10 get a lot out of their fuel tank. But now the 4 are going to peel down and away. Here comes the 10 of Duvendak, the 63 of Logan Helton. Oh, and the 24 of Will Weber up in front of the 00. Big moment for Rob Connors and Will Weber.
I don't know how they all made it on the pit road. That was an amazing job by all of those drivers. Big pack of cars.
That it was. The bad news for the 24 of Will Weber, he missed pit lane and is going to have to go around again, but gave up all of that momentum and now has no drafting help. So the 24 Will Weber finding himself in a tough spot, but we stay green, and the 63 of Logan Helton has managed to work his way out in front of the 4 of Rick Sebrands, but now being the 21 of Daniel Holloway also being shown 1 lap down, just in front of the 63.
And I think what we're going to see, KR, after all of the green flag pit cycles come through, I think we're going to end up seeing these drivers all the way up towards the front of the field, no longer a lap down. Logan Helton's still going to be 1 lap down, but he'll be right there with your race leaders.
So Rick Sebrands in the 4, going to work with the 63 here. And now as the 63 and the 21 are in front of the 4 of Rick, they are back on the lead lap for the moment, but the 21 of Daniel Holloway getting past here. So now Holloway, the first car, 1 lap down. Rick Sebrands having a very quick pit stop, just not as fast as the 63. He has pulled away from the rest of the field and is working with Logan Helton, but these 2 cars maybe make it 3 here as Daniel Holloway trying to close in. They are not going to have the same amount of energy that the 62 of Les Levy, the 77 of David Booth, and the 8 of Cody Ober are going to have as they work with the 95 of James Mayer. So this pack here looking like 6, 7, 8 cars starting to get formed up a little bit as then the 62 and the 77 make a move on the 95 of Mayer, but they will draft faster than the 3 cars in front of them.
It was a good move by Helton getting out there in front of the field. Gonna pay off for him. Big wiggle there from Sebrands. Running in the first position. He is the second car. Whoa, Helton up the track now. Kind of moving out of the way. Interesting little move there by Helton. That's going to put Holloway as the first car one lap down, but not quite sure what was going on right there.
We had a couple things happen there. The 77 of David Booth and the 82 of Daniel Harrington had a big moment through turns 1 and 2. They went sliding down through the grass. Caution does not come out. We stay green, and now this pack has formed up. Logan Helton, second car, one lap down. The 21 of Holloway, the first car, one lap down. And I did not see what happened to the 21 machine that he ended up so far back.
Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with anything on track, or it does show that he was in pit road for quite a long time though. Maybe he hit the wall a little bit, something like that. Not quite sure. Pit stop was 48 seconds. Overall time, right about a minute and a half on and off pit road. So that'll do it right there.
Cody over to the front of the field. The 4 Rick Sebrands now on his back bumper. The 15 of Alex Green working with the 18 of Mark Vega. 2 cars in the outside lane. We have 16 laps to go. And it is really going to be a question of, can these drivers make it on fuel, as the 4 of Rick Sebrands making a move on the 8 of Cody Ober. Alex Green in the 15 trying to close up to the 4 machine, but these fuel tanks could be just enough to make it to the end of this thing, but it is going to be close.
It is going to be very, very close, KR. That's going to be pulling right around the 23, possibly 24 lap mark out of the tanks. Going to be very close. Now it's got me thinking back to when Logan Helton just kind of moved out of the way. He's went right to the rear of this pack, right on the tail end of that 62 of Les Levy. So probably saving a little bit of fuel here. Maybe trying to not have to worry about pitting. And if these drivers do start saving gas, KR, will that second pack catch back up? Only 6 seconds behind.
Cody Ober, your race leader. James Mayer in the 95 machine sitting in second place. Ober looking for his first win of the season here on Monday night. Mark Vega in the 18 machine, peeking out here, hoping for some assistance, and it looks like the 63 of Logan Helton going to work his way out there as well. But now the 18 of Mark Vega tucking in behind the 4 of Rick Sebrands.
And I think these cars getting single file isn't so much making sure the cars behind them don't catch up. I think it's a little bit of that fuel strategy. I think some talking amongst the spotters and crew chiefs may be happening, maybe working with each other, try to stretch this thing on out so these guys don't have to hit pit road once again.
13 laps to go here at Talladega. Cody Ober leading the field. The 95 of James Mayer sitting in second. Daniel Holloway in the 21. Out in front of our race leader. He is on the tail end of the lead lap right now. They work their way through the tri-oval. The 77 of David Booth, who had a big moment with the 82 of Daniel Harrington. Booth now finding himself 1 lap down in 24th spot. He is going to be battling with the 63 of Logan Helton to be the first car 1 lap down. and the 21 of Daniel Holloway, depending on what specific moment on the track we are at.
Yeah, as of now, the three-way battle for that lucky dog position, and they're all right there running with each other, almost nose to tail. Now they are, as the 21 ducks out to that middle lane, leading this race now. Once again, the 18 of Mark Vega going to bring the field back across the stripe as Holloway and Helton both unlap themselves coming to the stripe.
So Holloway in the 21 machine now in front of the 18 of Mark Vega. And quite the interesting little battle we got going on here. Two separate races as the 18 gonna move up in front of the 63. Big wiggle there. And everyone finds some room to sort it out as we're coming to 10 laps to go. The 21 of Holloway gonna try and squeeze by here. The 18 now having to work with the 63. Mark Vega losing some ground, and Cody Ober in the 8 for the moment has the race lead.
That was almost a big time moment late here at Talladega Super Speedway, and Mark Vega doing a heck of a job out there with the block. I'm not sure I would have tried it or done it, but worked out for him nonetheless. So yeah, tip of the hat.
So now the 21 still in front of the 8 of Cody Ober. Mark Vega has disappeared and reappeared and gone again. And now the caution is going to come out. Duvendak in the 10 machine has found trouble down the backstretch. So too has the 02 of David Overstreet. They almost get together again as they try and get righted and get rolling forward. This was in a second pack, and we're going to see what happens here. The 02 is going to get turned into the outside wall. The 00 getting contact there of Rob Connors. Take another look at this one. Derek Conley in the 28 machine looks like he is not going to get squared up on the 02, and actually it was a little bit of an accordion effect. The 02 of Overstreet bumped, I believe, the 91 of Ernie Williams and transferred his energy to him, and that cost him a little bit of speed, and Derek Conley just hit him a little bit harder than I think he intended to because of that.
Well. Hey, Art, another end. Coming to a shakeup here. Gonna have a few drivers getting their laps back, I believe.
The 21
Holloway.
of Daniel Holloway gets the free pass.
Oh, he got the free. I thought he may have been in front already, and Logan Helton may get that lucky dog.
So Daniel Holloway getting the free pass. Logan Helton in the 63 machine. Going to now be the first car one lap down. James Mayer staying out. He has not gone down pit road. But we do have several drivers who have made a pit stop. Daniel Harrington rolling onto pit road. Cody Ober in the 8, pitted from the race lead to top off his fuel tank. So, Cody Ober having enough fuel to make it to the end of this thing and probably to cover a green-white checkered. The 95 of James Mayer, the 4 of Rick Seabrands staying out. They are going to find themselves a little bit closer on fuel. They're probably hoping for this race to finish at its scheduled distance.
Yeah, even with the caution laps, they're not going to make a green-white checkered attempt without hitting pit road. But man, that's still a long way to go Still a big stretch for fuel. That's a lot of cars behind you with possibly at least right side tires, and you're on 12, 14 lap old tires. Not so sure about the strategy call there.
But as the field works its way behind the pace car, Dave, I say we take a moment, let's catch our breath. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to finish this thing out. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight we're here for OP Racing Super Speedway Series as they present the Talladega 250. 7 laps to go in our scheduled distance. We are under caution again here tonight for a spin involving the 02 of David Overstreet, the 10 of Robert Duvendak, and the 00 of Rob Connors. David Overstreet has gone behind the wall in that 02 machine. Looks like an early exit for him. However, he is the only one who has dropped out of the race here tonight. Started 26 cars, 25 cars still out on track, 22 cars on the lead lap, the 77 of David Booth. The first car 1 lap down. Logan Helton has, well, I'm being shown he is on the lead lap. I am not entirely sure. Mark Vega in the 18 sitting down on the apron, letting cars pass. Lights have gone out on the pace car. We're forming up. We're getting ready to go racing again. It's trying to bring you everything that we know. And it looks to me like it is going to be another heck of a wild finish here for OP Racing.
Well, you mentioned bringing them what you know. That's why I kept my mouth shut, because I don't know very much of anything.
So as the field forming up, Rick Seabrand's on the inside for this restart. James Mayer in the 95 electing the outside lane. Those two drivers from Alliance Motorsports. Row number 2 is going to be the 62 of Les Levy from Checkered Flag Motorsports. And then the 52 machine, that is Randall Cobb, and Cobb from Buck Wild Racing. Oh wait, hold on. Buck Wild Racing, since they won't submit a team logo, just run this every time we talk about Buck Wild Racing. Row number 3 is going to be the 91 of Ernie Williams and the 8 of Cody Ober. Lot of stacked talent in the front of this field here.
Yeah, and I was just quiet because I was just thinking to myself, do I even want to know what he is showing?
Yeah, we're just showing Buck Wild Racing. They're, no, it's all good. All right, pace car down and away. Rick Seabrand, James Mayer, with Mayer electing the outside lane for this restart. Here we go. 5 laps to go when the green flag comes out. Long wait here, and at the end of the race, this is when the adrenaline really starts flowing, and every move matters as the 4 and the 95 get on the throttle. Green flag is out. And the 4 of Rick Seabrands and the 62 of Les Levy getting formed up very quickly here. The 95 of James Mayer dropping back a little bit as he doesn't have any good pushing going on, but they are trying to get to his back bumper. But Rick Seabrands in the 4 out in front for the moment. We got one car trying to make it 3 wide here. That is the 15 of Alex Green.
Already looking to take the race 3 wide, now jumping back to just 2 wide, back to the stripe for the first time since the restart. 4 laps left to go. That's how many miles? It's, I don't know, about 8 or 9, somewhere in that range. Who's counting?
I don't count.
I don't really know how to count, man. I just act like I do.
So Rick Seabrands in the 4 leading down the backstretch. 3 wide, that third lane being led by the 51 of Travis Elliott. Can that third lane make something happen here? The 52 machine, Randall Cobb, a rookie, trying to get his first win of the season. He's going to make a move up to the high side. Now he's going to get turned, and Randall Cobb down into the inside wall. Will Weber getting involved as well. Green flag stays out. And the 4 of Rick Seabrands out in front of this field. The 51 of Travis Elliott starting to fall back in that third lane. And now the 62 of Les Levy using that second lane to his advantage. He has the race lead down the backstretch.
That was a big move out there by James Mayer to lead that third. And oh, more contact. Cars into the wall.
Cody Ober up and over. Big wreck, big contact for Cody Ober in the 8 machine. And he is still tumbling. And this time the caution flag is going to fly. Let's back this up and take a look at this one. Cody Ober in the 8 machine, tucked in behind the 91 of Ernie Williams. And that just got too tight right there as the 91 trying to squeeze by the 62. And Cody Ober going for a wild ride, but lands on all 4 wheels and gets rolling. Take another look at this one. Ernie Williams trying to go 4 wide as the 78 came down. The 91 makes contact with him and is able to get through the 15 of Alex Green, going around, collecting the 82. A lot of torn up race cars in this one.
And I could just see the intensity picking up there after that green flag drop for the restart, KR. We went 3 wide pretty quickly. The momentum was surging. and then just slight contact and into the outside wall, and there was nowhere for a lot of these drivers to go after that.
So yellow flag coming out. That is going to give the 77 of David Booth the free pass. He gets back on the lead lap. And while this field hits pit road, half of the drivers coming down pit road, the 63 of Logan Helton leading the charge there. Cody Ober using a fast repair. Good for him. Able to pocket that fast repair until the very end. So he is going to get back out there. He's still got a shot to win this thing. And James Mayer in the 95 and the 4 of Rick Seabrand's gonna restart on the front row again.
And it looks like it looks like the 84 of Aspen Belvin has some issues as well. He's dropping through the timing and scoring charts. Mark Vegas still magic man on us right now. Sometimes we see him, sometimes we don't. So not sure where that's going to shake him out at, but we're going to have ourselves a green-white checkered here.
And that we are. This is our first attempt at a green-white checkered. Mayer in the 95 has been out front now for 5 laps. So it has been a wild night here at Talladega. We have had several lead changes all night long. Working our 5th caution, we went caution free through the first 2 stages, and now we are working our 3rd caution in stage number 3. 36 lead changes in total so far. And possibly only 2 cars out of the race. Aspen Belvin in the 84 looks like he has gone behind the wall. The 78 of Donald Stewart and the 3 of Robert Payne sitting in their pit stalls. They are being serviced by their crews. Stewart in the 78 now leaving pit road. We'll see if Robert Payne can get rolling again in that 3 machine. But some heavily torn up race cars. Big wipeout by the 8 of Cody Ober, but he was able to use a fast repair. And Cody Ober, because of that, now finds himself in 10th place.
Well, KR, you know me. I'm the pessimist of the group and the guys that I'm around. So looking at the laps right now, these drivers got at least 2 more laps before they go back green flag racing for another possible final 2 laps. These leaders are sitting on 21 laps into this fuel run. Some have been under caution, but I'm not so sure they can shake 25, 26 laps out of a tank of gas. So the restart's going to be pretty interesting, tiptoeing, if you would, in my personal opinion. I don't know, man. This is going to get interesting here.
Yeah, the 95 and the 4, along with the 62 of Les Levy, those are your top 3 cars. They have been out there for 21, 22 laps now. Ernie Williams in the 91, also in that 21 lap category. Chase Berry in the 11 machine. He had made a pit stop under the previous caution, so he is good to go on fuel for sure. So you got to wonder how much fuel is left in the 95, the 4, the 62 and the 91. Are they going to be able to make it around for a green, white, checkered attempt? And if we need a second one, are they going to have the fuel for that? I don't think that they're going to have the fuel for a second attempt.
Not a chance. There's no possible way. If they do, I'm sure some other drivers through the field are going to want to see that car torn apart like now. Like here's the wrench. Like, take it apart now. Because that's going to be an unbelievable amount of laps on fuel. Cautions or not, that would be a ton of laps.
How long is that fuel line that they got in that thing?
Well, I mean, I think if you could fit somehow an extra 10 feet of fuel line, I mean, that's a pretty good amount of fuel.
So lights go out on the pace car. The 95 of Mayer electing again to be on the outside lane. Rick Seabrand's in the 4 on the inside for this restart. Row number 2 will be the 62 of Les Levy and the 11 of Chase Berry. Ernie Williams in the 91 and the 28 of Derek Conley going to make up row number 3. And we have not talked a lot about Derek Conley here tonight. He has been hanging around mid-pack to the back of the field. But here he is going to restart outside row number 3 with this green, white, checkered attempt.
Well, you know what they say, cautions breed cautions, KR. So this our first attempt at a green, white, checkered. Could we see another from just everybody being all bunched up on top of each other once again? Will some of these drivers that had to use the fast repair at this point in time, will they be willing to push the envelope? Will they be willing to stick their nose where maybe they shouldn't? Who wants to win it all? There's one way to find out, and that's to keep on watching with us.
Talladega, very exciting racetrack and very wide, allows 3-4 wide racing. But coming to this checkered flag, we might even see them 5 wide. Someone down on the apron could make it 6 wide, so no one go anywhere as the pace car down and away. We get ready to go green flag racing once again. The 84 of Aspen Belvin getting back out there. He is 1 lap down. But here they come, working their way through the tri-oval. And the green flag is out, and we are back underway for a green, white, checkered attempt. And the 11 of Chase Berry trying to get to the back bumper of the 95 of Mayer. Meanwhile, the 4 machine waiting for the 62 to get to him, and Mayer is going to lose a lot of momentum because Chase Berry in that 11 machine not on his back bumper.
And look for that 62 to possibly make the move to the outside lane, try to take over the lead of that pack. But on the outside, my goodness, Chase Berry with a move to lead that inside, well, now middle lane, not inside lane. 3 wide already, once again, right after the restart, back to the line. Rick Seabrand's still leading the field. There's that move I was talking about. Les Levy jumps to the middle. Chase Berry jumps to the outside, 3 wide, back to the line. White flag in the air.
Final time around, Chase Berry in the 11 machine out front in that middle lane, but here comes the 4 of Rick Seabrand. He has the 91 of Ernie Williams tucked in behind him, and they're going to get the run up off the corner. Here comes the 95 of James Mayer, that 3rd lane, trying to make something happen. But the 11 of Chase Berry in that middle line has his nose out in front, but here comes the 4 of Rick Seabrand. Rick Seabrand's in the 4, looking for his 2nd win on the season, but the 11 of Chase Berry down, they're crashing behind him, and at the line there's more crashing, and Chase Berry in the 11 is gonna come away with the race win as they stack them up at the start finish line.
And Chase Berry, your race winner, flipped after crossing the line. little bit of contact, hit the outside wall, flipped the car. That car's gonna look, or has looked better, but it's gonna look just fine sitting in victory lane.
And so Chase Berry in the 11 machine throws it into reverse and celebrates a race win as only Chase Berry can. That 11 machine going to full tilt backwards. That engine's gonna pop before too long.
You know, I've actually tried it and I haven't made it very far, so he does a great job driving backwards.
As we watch this finish, everything going on behind them, and then the 62 and the 95 crashing, the 11 of Chase Berry up on his roof. And man, oh man, what a finish. Wow, that's all I can say. The 11 of Chase Berry celebrating in the infield. Guys, we're gonna step away from the microphones and set up our post-race show. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to talk to our podium finishing drivers. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our Turn 3 Racing Network post-race show. And your race winner, the 11 machine of Chase Berry. He led 2 laps here tonight. One of those, well, that 11 machine had a rough go at it here. At one point, you were 1 lap down. Got back on the lead lap. Do all the racing without what appeared to be any further incidences that kept you from tearing up the race car, and then crossing the start finish line, you go up and over, and now that car is all sorts of torn up.
Yeah, that's the best time to tear up a car is after the finish line when you win, though, you know? I mean, Liz will Liz.
Well, Chase, tell us a little bit about your race and what went on out there.
Well, I first started the race because I waited till the last minute to join the lobby. Well, did that. Well, the sound didn't work. I was like, oh man. So I've been riding around the back for the first stage waiting on the caution. So I had to make a pit stop under a green, and I couldn't hear my sound. So I blew through my pit box, all that, because I just couldn't hear my braking engine. Like that's how I work with everything. So I couldn't race just because I couldn't hear nobody. I couldn't hear nothing else. So I finally got that fixed. Well, when I did, I got to put a lap down, and then Alex beat me for the lucky dog on that. So I had to wait till the end of stage 2, and then I was like, well, I'm ready to race. So I just went and had fun with it, and it just missed the wrecks. There's one wreck that I have no idea how I missed, and then there's another one I have no idea I missed. So it was close calls. I seen him in my mirror. But yeah, it was exciting. And then at the end, I just clearing myself, hoping they either re-wreck or don't wreck, either one. But I was just trying to have fun and race.
Well, man, congratulations on that race win. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Yeah, give Aspen and Travis a shout out for letting me run with them and stuff. And yeah, KB's all around shop for sticking out with me a while. Pure Ink for letting me put them on the car too. Bromley Designs for making this awesome work of art. I ain't even gonna cuss today. I'm working on trying not to cuss. But yeah, I mean it's good. I mean it's been a while since I won. Like it's been a long time since I won this, so I'm kind of actually enjoying this one.
All right, man. Well, you go enjoy it. Congratulations on your race win. Nice job out there tonight.
Hey, thank you guys.
That is Chase Berry for Vapid Yeet Racing, picking up that team's first win of the season and Chase's first win of the season as well. Now it's time to move on to our second place finisher. And Dave, you've caught up with Rick Seabrands.
That I have, KR. Rick, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, real good, loud and clear. Hear you.
Well, man, another good finish. Walking away with second here today. Pretty much was at the front of the field the entire race. Just walk us through a little bit of your race. There you go. I can spit it out eventually.
First off, we just want to say our everybody at Alliance Motorsports, and we're thinking about Ryan Newman and his family out there. Got probably the best news possible that we could out there on the track, and we're thinking about him, praying for the best there. Also, congrats to Chase on his win out there, man. Chase has been fast all season, man. He's had some bad luck, and it was just he was bound to get one of these eventually, man. He's been fast all season. But yeah, we kind of flipped the track position there late. We kind of got behind on ourselves there with the stages, and we missed out on stage points tonight. We stayed out front with that first stage and burned up too much fuel, and we had to come back down and take a splash there, and that put us behind. And then by the time we got caught back up for the second stage, we didn't have any good track position either, and everything was just kind of bunched up there. But yeah, we made some good calls, came back, and to come out of here with seconds, it's pretty cool. We'll take that tonight.
All right, man. Well, once again, one heck of a job out there walking away with second. If you haven't already, would you like to give any more of them shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
No, I'd just like to thank all the teammates, Robert, Anthony, Jim, Mark. I know he's watching out there. Hopefully we put on a great show for you tonight, and look forward to welcoming you back next week. Yeti, OP, everything that you guys do. Can't wait for Daytona.
All right, there you have it. That was your second place finisher, the 4 of Rick Seabrands and KR. I think you finally had a chance to catch up with Robert Duvendak, finishing in third here tonight.
Yeah, Robert Duvendak in the 10 machine, bringing it home third place. And Mr. Duvendak, you yourself had an uphill battle and found a way to bring it home in third. Tell us a little bit about what went down out there tonight.
I'd probably be better off telling you what didn't go down tonight. I feel like I had an up and down night from the start. Up to the front, back to the back for some other reason, and back and forth all night to find myself up here at the front at the end.
Well, that 10 machine does bring it home in third, and a wild finish going on around you as you cross the start finish line. But a couple incidences all night long got caught up in them. But man, here you are in third place. When you get caught up in a wreck, how do you mentally overcome that?
I don't. You just gotta kind of put it behind you right away and act like it didn't happen. Get that fast repair clicked, get it repaired, get back out there, and act like it's a whole new race. Start fresh.
Well, that 10 machine's gonna need some freshening up as it is heavily torn up here tonight. But Alliance Motorsports finishing second and third here. So congratulations on that, man. Nice job. And before we let you go, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for taking your time out on Mondays to broadcast this for us. Thank all the guys at Alliance Motorsports, Rick, Jim, Anthony, and Mark not being here tonight, but I know he's watching us. Thank the guys at OP for everything that they do. Thank my wife for giving me the time each week to come out and do this. I also want to give my, I guess, happiness, I guess I could say, to know that Ryan Newman's okay. I know before we got on here tonight, a lot of us were really concerned about it, and we're having a little trouble there gathering ourselves to get into this race tonight. And so it's good to hear some positive news on that front.
That it is, man. When some of the best news we could have gotten in the racing world, holding its breath for a while there.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I was constantly. I don't think I've refreshed Twitter so many times in my life in such a short period of time, waiting to hear something. So it's good to finally hear that he's going to be okay for the most part. And, we'll have to see where he goes from here.
All right, well, Robert, congratulations on third place here tonight. Nice job out there.
Thanks a lot, guys, and good job tonight on the broadcast. You guys did great.
As Robert Duvendeck, your third place finisher here at the Talladega 250. And Dave, again, a wild race by OP Racing.
Again, and as always, KR, I mean, week in and week out, and I say it all the time, and I know I sound like a broken record, but they always put on a show, especially towards the end of these things. Nothing is ever decided till they cross that line. Doesn't matter what track they're on. So, yeah, these drivers going out and doing what they know to do best, and that's just race.
Our race winner is the 11 of Chase Berry. Rick Seabrands finishing in second. Third going to Robert Duvendeck. Fourth going to be the 62 of Les Levy. And rounding out your top five here tonight is Ernie Williams Jr. in the 91. Alex Green finishing in sixth place in the 15 machine. Derek Conley in seventh. Eighth going to be Daniel Holloway. And ninth place, James Mayer. Sean McCarrick finishing in 10th. 11th will be Cody Ober. 12th, Dan Harrington. 13th, Travis Elliott. 14th, Hunter Reynolds. The 15th finishing driver is Dave Hunt. Logan Helton going to finish in 16th. 17th, Mark Vega. 18th, Randall Cobb. 19th, David Booth. Will Weber finishing in 20th. 21st, Donald Stewart. Aspen Velvin finishing in 22nd. 23rd, Rob Connors. Anthony English finishing in 24th. 25th, Robert Payne. 26th, going to be David Overstreet. And Cody Eldred, our race control. Thank you so much, Cody, for keeping these drivers in check out here tonight. So guys, that is going to do it for us here at Talladega. Make sure you join us next week as we hit up Daytona International Speedway, 100 laps for OP Racing Super Speedway. And guys, until then, have a good night. And as always, we're going to leave you with a video put together by Derek Conley. See y'all. We'll see you next week.
Warning, the following stunts are performed by idiots or under the supervision of stupider idiots. If you attempt to reenact any of these idiotic stunts you will see, you will be left with idiotic scars. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Alex Green. Welcome to OP Racing.